Welcome to another episode of The Oracles. My name is Manelisi and I'm with my incredible, brilliant, and beautiful co-host, the superstar of the podcast, Z Mazibugo. Today we have a very special guest. Our guest today is a singer, rapper, and songwriter with an incredible ear for music. He was born in the Eastern Cape, moved to KZN during his primary school years, and then Gauteng for his tertiary studies. Let me tell you, this guy is currently on an insane trajectory towards greatness. He has so far worked with some seriously great artists such as Benchmark, Black Les, Stilo Makolite, Obrikwana, Lido the vocalist, and the Kwaito legend himself, Zola. Those names alone speak of the kind of artist we are talking about today. This dude is an Afro soul musician who has slightly dabbled into amapiano. He has so far released two projects, a mixtape titled God's Work in 2016, and followed it up with an EP titled A Chosen One in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Oracles present to you a legend in the making. His ID card says he is Unatim Dolo. However, the streets know him as Nate. Mavuthela, how you doing, man?
I'm good, my brother. Hey, what an intro, what an intro, what an intro.
Thank
Chosen
you.
number 10.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Yeah, are you good, man?
Hey, what an intro.
Yeah.
I'm good, my brother. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good to be back on the show again. Back, my first time on this one. Last time we met to doing the radio thing together.
Yeah. That's the first time we actually met. And you know, it was an incredible introduction, I think, to you with the two songs that I was introduced to you by at the time. It was Singashona and Friend Zone as well. Dude, you are an incredible artist. We are loving your music. And I'm here with my co-host Z Mazibugo. Z, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, man. How are you guys doing? Thank you for giving us your time, Nate. Thank you so much.
No worries, no worries, no worries, no worries. So it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. You know, firstly, Nate, how do you go from Unati to Nate? And why is Nate all caps? Like, how do we find how do you go actually from that name, your name, given name Unati, and how did you get to Nate?
Well, everything was just, I don't know. I guess I grew up, I'm actually originally from Pezana, but I grew up in KZN. So, like most of the people didn't want to say my name full out like that as Unati. So, like most guys from KZN just say Nati. Then when I went to varsity, like one of my friends was like, hey, Nate, because everybody was calling me Nati, and Nati sounds like Nate in English. So one of my white friends was like, yo, Nate, one of the boys was playing radio. So it's like, hey, you know, so I go from Unati to Nati to Nate.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I see it. And why did you stylize your name in all caps?
I felt like it just gave me. I'm a big guy, man. I'm a big guy, you know. So, when my name is in small letters, it doesn't make it. Makes it like it's the normal name. It's not the normal name. It's not the normal one.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's some people whose names are Nate.
Oh yeah.
You know? So, yes. So it's not the normal one.
Right.
I heard you earlier. You mentioned the name Nate came from when you moved to KZN, right? How was that transition from Eastern Cape moving to KZN when you were very young? How did that feel like for you, and how did you get used to the new surrounding?
Well, it wasn't really that much, but it was a big change from because that was like back. I was still very young when I moved my family to that side, but we didn't move like that, like as we totally moved. But my mom just bought a house in KZN, so you know, just to get better schools and just get better upbringing. So I felt like it was a very good thing for us as a family and for myself as an individual because I got to explore other things. As you guys know, that Eastern Cape is not really that good in terms of like education, doesn't have some of the best school, doesn't have, there's a lot of things. So there was an improvement in the way of life and just having a different perspective and just being different and just being around different people, So it was great. I think it was great because There's the beach to that side, so hey, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You say you moved, right? Because your mom wanted better schools and everything for you. Speaking of your upbringing and background, did you study music or is just something you fell in love with while
I
growing up?
didn't. I
Is it
didn't.
something from home?
I didn't actually. I actually have a BA in psychology and sociology.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Mm.
So where does the music come from?
It came uh, 2013. I was doing my last year in varsity. So it was just, I grew up listening to a lot of music, and my friends, we used to jam a lot. And like 90% of my friends, they were like they're so influenced in hip hop and they
Mhm.
were into the whole rapping thing, the freestyling thing. So whenever we're like linking up together at the party, wherever, they just switch off the music and play beats, start freestyling over the beats. Funny enough, I never used to freestyle or join in at that time. But now, up until 2013, where I was in varsity, and I feel like that was like that's when I actually fell in love in music like that. Because after I went to initiation school, like boys in Dabi, we say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
manhood school here, where I come from, in Eastern Cape. I feel like that's where actually, because that's where this whole music thing started. Because there we had to sing and do other things. So the singing and me finding my voice actually came from there. That's when I actually realized that I do actually have a voice that I can use to sing, and I'm actually really good at it. So that's when it actually started. Then from there, I just kept on working on my craft and just working on my music. Obviously, my first and second song were not
Mhm.
that dope, because first you have to find your sound. Like from then till now, I feel like my sound has evolved so much, like so much. I've literally had like three different phases of my music, and which sounds totally different from each other.
Yeah.
Like you'd actually think it's a different artist, or I don't
Yeah.
sound like how it used to sound before.
Yeah.
And I think that's what actually made me understand and just fully just be in control of my sound and my voice, because I never did the whole uh trying to learn how to sing and whatever. I taught myself how to sing. So, so the transition from me rapping and the singing, I had to teach myself how to sing, because at first I sounded very weird. It was very squirky, it was very off key, it was
Yeah.
very, I couldn't hit some notes. So I had to find a way around it.
So at home, okay, now I'm hearing all this thing that you had to teach yourself how to sing and basically gone into music at varsity. Does this mean that at home the culture of music wasn't really that great? You guys didn't listen to much music at home growing up.
As black people, I feel like all of us have a culture of music.
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
won't really say it's nothing special, because I feel like there's a lot of people in every black family. There are people who can sing, and people are always singing. They sing at ceremonies, in
Yeah.
weddings, at funerals, in church, everything. So growing up like that is nothing new to any black child, I think.
yeah,
But now convincing yourself that you can actually do this and take it to and start writing music. So that was different for me, because writing music and just singing along with other people's songs and singing songs which are like traditional songs or church songs
Mhm.
doesn't actually convince you enough. It doesn't give you much, motivation for you to actually start singing like that. Because I know people who are like old, they were very good. Like my sister, my sister was one of the best singers that I knew, but she was very good in singing like church songs and whatever.
Mhm.
But she didn't actually get to a point where she started writing and making music like that, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Now, I hear you. So, speaking of that, now, how would you describe your sound? Because you did say that it took a lot for you to find yourself. Like looking back to your first two singles, is not where you are now. So, how can you describe your sound and how did you get there?
Yeah, my sound. Yo. My Elisa probably knows some of the songs I dropped. Yo, my sound. At this point, I think my sound is basically my voice at this moment. I think it doesn't matter what type of production I jump on or what type of beat, as long as my voice just sounds the way I want it to sound. I feel like now I'm more into, Afro soul, Afro. I'm gifted in Afro, but my heart is like hip hop. My heart is like hip hop, like to the core. Like my
On
heart
a
is
rap.
yes. But that is an advantage for me because I incorporate that into the Afro now, so I sound different because I use the rhymes, the melodies, and the whatnot just to move differently. And plus, I've had like a stage in my life where I was working with these other Nigerian guys, and shout out to Endo, one of my big bros. So Endo's from Nigeria, so he was part of the team I was working with at the time, like 2015, when we did Friend Zone and all those other songs in that catalog. And our sound was very influenced by Afro trap, Afro, everything Afro, because Endo was from that side, and our producer MSA used to make like a lot of Nigerian beats, Afro beats and what. So the sound was not really Afro popish. It was like mid hip hop with a bit of, I don't know, with like Afro beats in it. So it ended up coming out like for instance the song with Zola 7 Friend Zone. If you listen to it, it's not really hip hop, but it's hip hop at the same time because I come and I start rapping on that beat, but the beat sounds like it's like a Afro fusion with like hip hop elements in it.
Yeah.
And I hear you.
Yes, because I remember when I dropped the song, I sent the song to Slaker because I wanted him to get it, to push it on the Stick on Live thing.
Yeah.
Slaker was like, no, the song is not hip hop, whatever. The song is not hip hop. It doesn't fit. And weeks later, they ended like that's the biggest challenge with us is that we try to box the music so much. Just like what's happening with the Amapiano right now. You have rappers jumping on Amapiano, and people are trying to box those rappers to not do that because they feel like you as a rapper have an obligation to jump on these beats, these hip hop beats, which the hip hop beats are not really ours. Even SA hip hop producers, they have to listen to American beats to try and produce these songs. That's why people jump on drill, they jump on all these other trap. It's not really our sound. But now, if we can take our own type of sounds, the Kwaito vibes, the Watwat, the Afro beats, maybe from Africa, because they are neighbors, we are brothers. So once we take that and we incorporate the music and do the hip hop like that, to do the Afro like that, then it sounds special now to other people from outside. So the reach now, so to somebody from outside, you sound special. You sound like you're doing something different, but it's not really something different. It's just the sound, the basis of it. So I feel like the mix is like a concussion of like a lot of sounds, bro. Like a lot of them. But now I'm also trying to get into the whole piano thing. I was really stubborn at first, but I realized it's not helping. Because I'm a very diverse artist, so I can actually jump on different sounds like that. It just shows my versatility like that.
And you actually sound amazing on them. So I really do appreciate you jumping on it as well. Because I don't see why a person should be boxed, If you're doing amazing, you are doing amazing.
Do you understand?
Yeah, and also to add to what Z is saying, the whole purpose of doing like an EP or a mixtape, it is to experiment mainly.
Yes.
And music is there to be experimented with and for you to also express yourself and find yourself. Yeah, so there's no reason why you shouldn't stop or you shouldn't just try it out and experiment it. But going back just a little bit to that first EP, chosen one, and on there, my favorite song happens to be Friend Zone, and I think I've mentioned to you this before, Nate, how much I love that song, how much I love Friend Zone. How did you find yourself getting that feature from Zola?
It was very, the feature with Zola 7 was very unplanned, and it was it was, I guess it was God's timing. I think it was God's showing me, sharing his light to me. You know, it's like, hey, my son, yeah, I see
Yes.
you. Because I actually recorded that song the year before that. You know, the
Yeah.
year before I actually wrote the song, I recorded the song, and I just had it. It was like an unfinished song. And then 1 year later, like the following year, I was playing all the songs down on the computer that I had recorded that I hadn't finished. Then I kept telling the gents, I'm like, yo guys, this song is so dope. Do you guys actually like this song? You know? Because I think it's a dope song. And the guys were not feeling it's like I had better, but I had already kind of like planned out my release for that the EP.
Yeah.
But I had like few songs which were finished. So some of them are really finished like that. And some I just had to take. I played the first day, I played the second day, the third day I played. Fortunately enough, where we were at the studio in Mavuthela. There's another studio upstairs where like a lot of other guys record there. The Ricky's Family Values recorded the levels, Casper's album, some guy called Stevie Tainment upstairs. So Zola was up there recording or having a session with him or visiting the guy. So he hears this song playing downstairs. The song is just going, yeah, 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 yeah. The sound, you know, it even for some people don't even know what I'm saying on the song. They just love that whole chant, that melody in the chorus. They just love that thing. They don't know. Till to this day, I've met people who don't even know what I was saying there. They think maybe I was singing in Nigerian or what. When I tell them, I'm like, the song says, Dando, how could you? They don't, just like, were you singing in Zulu this whole time? You know? Because I felt like they got captivated by the melodies first before even paying attention to the lyrics. So they never bothered. So every single time that thing went off, you just hear these melodies. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's, you know, and that's what he heard too. So he just came downstairs like, yo, what song is playing here? Like, what is this thing playing?
That's amazing.
And I'm like, yo, it's my, yeah, I'm like, oh, it's my song. I'm like, yo, this sounds really dope. I didn't even know. I was drinking coffee outside the balcony. I'm hearing this sound just go on over and over, and it's stuck in my head. So I'm like, the song is not done yet. But yeah, whatever. It's like, let's jump on it now. Let me put my verse, like there and there, like that. Then my producer's not around, MSC was not around. I was like, okay, I can record. I usually record myself sometimes. Let's do this thing. So I recorded this verse, added some ad-libs, that was done like that. Then from there, you know, we've just been very close with each other and just, you know, I think it was something great for me to have somebody of that caliber, you know, and somebody that I look up to, acknowledging my work like that from a distance without even me trying to reach out to him or try to even, you know. And considering the fact that Zola is a very spiritual person, you know, there's a lot of people that have tried to work with him.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, or because he didn't connect with them like that, or his energy, because it's all about energy. It's like that type of guy. It's very spiritual.
Yeah, no, I think that's what cut him, the melody, because honestly, that's what most people are drawn to when it comes to music, the melodies.
Yeah.
And while we're still on features, right? You had Tell Us More on Damn It, right? Who wrote that verse for him? Was it ghostwritten or was it just you yourself on the track?
No, he wrote it himself. Actually, Tell Us More like my brother, like my big brother now, you know, because he mentored me a lot, especially in terms of my live performances and all those things and stage presence. Because during that time when I was recording that, like I was literally going on the road, Tell Us More. He was taking me to his shows.
Nice.
We're doing shows together, you know. So that was like probably the third song we recorded together, you know. And because he wanted to get into the music thing, because he already had a song out, Sugar the Bang, the one that he had, the single that he previously released. So now he came to the studio, he's like, oh, he fucks with the sound, whatever. Let's try something, you know. So we kept on recording songs, and he was fucking with my music too much. So he liked my vibe and how I was jumping. So And music is like that when you're around people that make music like that. And if you also have a musical ear, like a bit of talent, music, you know, the thing about music, you don't need to be too talented to make music. You don't need to be the best singer or the best rapper. You know, you just need a certain level of musicality, like even musical ability, just to have a good song or to make a good song. So I feel like to him, Tallest Mode it was very natural to him. It wasn't like he didn't have to try too hard or anything like that. Are you guys still there over there?
Yeah, we're still yeah. So yeah, we're actually listening
Yeah.
to you. Now, of all the features that you've had, because you've had numerous features, which one would you say was a standout feature for you? And you can't say Zola. Of all the other artists, which one is a favorite feature to have?
My favorite. I would say. Yeah, this is a hard one. This is a hard one.
Usually it's Z that puts people on the spot, that puts our guests on the spot. But it looks like today I'm the one who did that.
And I wanted to follow up on that features one. But if it's like here, then it's gonna be a problem.
I'm trying to think. I think the best features I did, the best features that I have had, or I've done previously, are the features that I done with the females. So 90%, if not 100% of the features I did with females, those are my favorite because I feel like we mix and we gel so well in the song, you know?
Yeah.
There's one song called Tando featuring Tamasha. There's another one with Black Liz and Nana Atta. Nana Atta, she's with Six Bantwini in those songs, Mali and whatever, all the songs.
Yeah.
So Nana, she's a vocalist from Durban. Yeah, she's pretty dope. So there's a song I did with her and Black Liz. Plus the one I did with Tamasha, Tando. Those songs, I feel like those are like my favorite features to say. Yeah. Because most of my performances, when I perform those songs, those are the ones I can actually express. Because you know, I'm a tough guy and a big guy, but sometimes with the ladies, I'm you know. So I feel like those are the ones that stand out for me. Because they challenged me, you know, they challenged my singing ability, my vocal ability, you know, just a lot of things. I had to really step out of my zone because those females were like really good singers. They're like singers, like proper singers, like, you know, people who started singing like in primary school or whatever. I don't know when they started, but I'm just saying they are very talented. They were very talented people to work with, you know.
Okay, while we had you on that, who do you still want to work with? Could be locally, could be within the continent or abroad. Who do you still want to work with?
Me, I want to work with the outside guys, man. Like, you know, I want to work with the outside guys, basically. I work with like the guys from like Nigeria, Tanzania, and whatever. Those are the guys that I want to make music with, because I feel like my sound actually from my previous projects and whatever. There were songs in the project or that I've released which were not really focused on the South African markets per se, if I put it like that. They were made for like a global and African reach, if I say, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like those would be like features which I'd actually look for like that would really intrigue me or would really make me, you know, I don't know. Those are the ones. I think, you know, the normal guys, I'm not going to be cliche now and just say David or Whiskey, what, but there's some other really talented new guys, you know, from outside who are coming with like fire music. And I feel like, you know, I feel like what you call this intercontinental. I'm more into intercontinental collaborations because I feel like you music to resonate with other people. It's not really fulfilling or satisfying for me, for somebody, for my own time playing my songs. Yes, it's nice and everything, but imagine somebody from outside who can't even speak the language or they can't even understand what you're saying, bumping your songs like they know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is more satisfying, and that would be more, more fulfilling, more motivating for me to just keep going, because once you break into the African market, that's when you break into the UK, you break into London, you break into all these other places, and then there's the global reach. So I feel like that's my main vision, my main goal, to get to a point where I'm a global artist like that. I make music which anybody can play basically in the world,
Yeah.
I hear you. Now, speaking of the reach that you're speaking about right now, you have two projects out right now, and none of them are albums.
See, now the album story, yeah? The album story. I feel like it's about time. I feel like it's about time for me to drop an album,
Yeah.
I feel like it's about time. I have the music, but now I'm trying to fix some things in my contracts with the people doing my distribution. I'm speaking to other people, just to see who can actually give me the proper push and proper, proper, and get my music where I need it to get, because it's pointless me investing, because albums need a lot of push, they need a lot of marketing, they need a lot of PR, they need a lot of things. They need a very dope, like a proper rollout. Not that I can do that, but the thing is, I'm so used to doing things on myself that I've been doing everything else on my own. I did everything else. Like, I released my own music, shot the videos, did this one, did this one, did this one, did that one. So it's been like that for a very long while. So now I'm just, let's say, I'm trying to get somebody that can actually handle more. It might just be an album. I'm not sure.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I do have the project and everything. The music is there, but it's just up to me to decide now. It's okay. Do I call this thing a project, or do I call it an EP, or what do I call it? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now I'm looking forward to the album, man. I'm looking forward to what you're gonna do with that. Now you are currently having a very, very good run with the music you're making, and you are moving at your own pace. What have been some of your biggest lessons so far on your music journey that you would want to share with other artists coming after you who are watching right now?
I feel like the biggest thing I'll tell anybody, and one of the things that has just carried me throughout my music journey, like this thing, if you're doing it, you must do it with love and passion. You must never let the love for it die. Do it for the love of music. We're actually talking Strava was here because Linda was dropping, I think, Friday. So we're just speaking in general as an artist who would see this music thing. Sometimes it's very hard, It's very hard because there's this constant pressure that's on artists now to fit in, to have the new song, there's all these things and factors which come into play, when you're in the industry, that some people can't even handle the pressure. Some people chase different sounds. They chase, there's a lot of things. But I think if you do this thing for love and just watch and do what you love and improve on that, and not and don't chase a certain I don't know. Don't chase anything that's not who you are, or try to fit in, because now I can say there's groups in the music industry, there's certain sounds which are going mainstream, there's sounds which are not popping, the sounds, there's a lot of things. But if you just stay true to yourself and just do this thing with the heart, I feel like that's gonna give you a longer lifespan in the industry. than you chasing a wave or you chasing something. And just perfect your own sound.
Yeah.
You know, by me saying perfect your own sound, I'm not saying if the sound that was popping in 2015, you must stick on that one and keep doing the same thing. You know, you need to improve and understand that there are other genres out there which you can probably type in that probably those are the ones that you would sit so well in and so comfortably in, you know?
Yeah.
Because like me, for instance, for my own experience, it took me so long to jump into Afro, but for some reason I've been doing Afro for so long, like Afro pop, Afro whatever it is. That's I've been doing it for so long, but it wasn't my really core genre that I was based doing. I have maybe out of a project, I have one song that's Afro, or that sounds like that or two. Do you understand? And that happened, and one thing that made me realize that, because funny enough, every time I used to go home, like the people that play my songs and my fans, 90% of them were like the youth, school kids, and whatever. But now I didn't have songs which I can play for my family and family gatherings, whatever. You understand? So I was like, you know what? Why don't I make this type of music at least? So I made 2 songs like that, and I just played them. It's like, oh, actually, these are the songs that we actually like. We think now you're making real music. I'm like, what are you saying? Now I'm making real music. What was I doing all this time? You know? Because those are the songs they can understand. And one thing that Afro pop and Afro just taught me in general is as Afro pop or Afro soul artist, or it you tell African stories, you know, talk about daily things that people go through, and understand the music better, because I'm talking about things that they also go through, that everybody goes through in South Africa. Any Black person or any person that is in the continent goes through. So we tell African stories like that. So I feel like that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of Afro, of me doing Afro, actually, because now I can resonate, like I can relate with people so much. They can relate to the music I'm making so much, you know. And I feel like that's what gives my music more lifespan now.
And I think that's where you always be with the music that you listen to and the music that you guys make as artists. We just want for everything to resonate, man. You know, people to relate and just jam and genuinely enjoy the music.
Yeah, because one thing you have to understand, the music is there for, we make music so normal people can use that same music or those soundtracks to their own lives, you know, help them get through situations, help them get through things, help them get through a breakup, help them understand what's this thing. You're not the only one that's going through this thing. Help them just understand a lot of things about life, because not a lot of people can talk to anybody like this. Not a lot of people can call somebody and say, yo, bruh, hey, what's up? My brother just passed away. Hey, my girl just left me. Hey, my wife. So this, you know, not a lot of people can do that. But there are music out there that can help you get through things like that. That's why especially you guys, females, you use a lot of music to get through your emotional phases, like through your depressions, maybe heartbreaks or what. You have a playlist. You have a certain playlist that you play, and when you sing those songs, you feel like you are the one that's saying it, because now we're selling emotion, you know, because music is a feeling. So basically, we are selling feelings.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Because music is a feeling. I feel like because every single song you listen to, you get a certain vibe from it, or you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Nate,
actually, we don't have we have about maybe 2 minutes left. We have about 2 minutes left. I don't know. Do you have any final words? Very quickly.
Well, I just want to say, hey, thank you, man. Thank you to everybody that's been supporting the music. Thank you to everybody that's just supporting music in general, you know. And South African music has come very far now. We are in a very good space musically, I think. I think a lot of people are experimenting. A lot of people are just trying out like different music. So as any, if you're a musician or anybody out there, I feel like you should try and experiment more and just focus on making good music at the end of the day. Don't box yourself in any genre or anything like that. Just make music that moves your soul or moves, music. There's no formula to this thing. Nobody can tell you how a song is made. You need this one. What people say that, there's more time they're telling the guys they know it, but nobody can handpick somebody now and say this guy's gonna blow up tomorrow. I know what needed to be there. Nobody can do that. So I feel like just do what you love, man. Just do what you love. Make good music at the end of the day. And just thank you for everything. And I'm gonna be dropping a project soon, probably like next month, So people should just look out to that. And maybe I'll start off with a single, like a good single, shoot a few visuals and just drop the project.
We seem to have lost Nate there. Z, I don't know, do you have any last words?
Yeah, man, I'm just happy that Nate spoke to us. I really like his music. And funny enough, you know how he's picking up at the female features and whatnot?
Yeah.
And personally, I'm here for the gents features. You see that song with him and Aubrey with Mlindo?
Yeah.
That's my vibe.
Singashon.
Even in the ones where he's alone with the Kansolagala.
Yeah.
I get the ladies, be fun, but for now, I'm enjoying those other features.
And it's
but
also,
yeah, man, I'd like to thank you for listening to us. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for the music. I'm here for the support, and I'm enjoying everything.
Yeah, definitely. And just to get back to that point, and also what he said earlier about playing around with the sound and really using his voice as a sound, is that when you listen to Friend Zone and then you listen to Singashon, two very, very different sounds, very different songs, but they are all incredible, very, very great songs. But yeah, anyway, as for me, I don't have any last words. I'm just grateful for having Nate, such an incredible guy. Thank you to you as well, Z, for being here as always. You're always incredible. But yeah, we'll be back again next week. So from us, the Oracles, have a wonderful week. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.